we are now about a week away from calving. In about a week's time we will start looking at the cows, and they should start showing some signs of pregnancy. So what will happen is their udders, or the bag, whichever way you want to look at it, they will start getting a big bag on them, and that's the first sort of sign you get that they're going to give birth. If you look at this cow, just under her right eye, she has got, there's a little patch just under her eye, and that is something called ringworm. Not all of them have it. There's only a few cows. There's only a few cows in here that have it, and there's a few of the steers that have it. Now, ringworm is a fungus. It's highly contagious, so if she rubs her face against one of the other cows, they might catch it. Unless they've had it before, then hopefully they won't. It's a bit of a job to treat, actually. There used to be something you could put in their food that would treat ringworm, but you can't get hold of that anymore for some reason or another. I'm not too sure why. Now, what are we going to do about it? It's actually a bit of a job to treat, because you have to get the animals back in the crush, so you have to run them all through the crush, find the ones with ringworm. The only way to treat it is to scrape off the crust and rub some solution, some special solution on it. It doesn't just work in one hit. You have to do it 3 or 4 times, and even after then you could still have the problem. So what are we going to do about it? Well, the easy answer to that is nothing. We're not going to do anything about it. What will actually happen in a few months' time, they're just going to get over it. It's like a virus. They're going to get herd immunity to it, and it will clear itself up. It's a little bit uncomfortable for the cow because it's very itchy, and it's very important that we are washing our hands after we've been in here, so we don't catch it. You don't want, if you can, it can be passed on to us. This one here's got it. You can see it above her eye. And it just looks a bit scabby, that's all it looks like. But when you're dealing with the whole herd, it will be ever so tricky. The young heifers over there, they haven't got it, and we're not sure why, so that's something odd. Right, anyway, the last time we were talking, we had the guys here blood testing for TB, and they were doing a skin test as well. The results from that were not so good like we thought. What did we have? We had 2 reactors on the skin test, 1 inconclusive on the skin test. We had then 6 others come back from the blood test. Now, with the blood test, there was 2 people here. They had a little needle with a little pot on the bottom, and they stick it under the tail of the cow. It fills up with blood, and then once they've got all the bloods, they then shoot them off to a lab to be tested. And this blood test is meant to be the be all and end all. It shall tell you definitely if the cows have got TB or not. And it's a bit odd because the ones that flagged up with the skin test, the reactors, did not show up on the blood test, and none of the ones on the blood test showed up on the skin test. So we're a little bit confused. We are going to do a video shortly. We're going to sit down with the farmer and Linda. They will talk us through the little problems with the TB test and how it's going there, because this time around it's such a flawed system. One of our bulls flagged up on the blood test. They want to give us £500 for him. He's worth £1,100 in meat alone, and nothing showed up on the skin test. No movement on either side on the skin test. We are a little bit miffed, to say the least. So it's going to be difficult because the farmer and everybody here is very, very upset with, with the way it all works. It's not really, it's all anyhow, if I'm honest. It's a bit of a job to get your head around. So we'll sit down with them. The farmer can then talk us through where the cows started at the farm, because we've had cows here for I don't even know how many years now, a lot of years. So he can start off with telling us, the history of the cows and how it came to be, because we are ever so proud of our cattle. We look after them as, with best intention. Anyway, we're going to sit down and do a proper video at the table, and the farmer will go through it all once we've got everything up together. So we're now in with this young steers, and not all of them have ringworm. There is only a couple in here with it. There's one over here, a little red one over here. You can see it on his eye, just on his face there. The farmer did tell me that they haven't seen ringworm in the cattle for over 10 years. So here's my old mate, Dallas. How's it going, mate? Are you good? The plan of action is, these guys with the ringworm, is to just leave it, let it run its course, and just see how it goes. We're just going to monitor it, but they should get over it by themselves. Me and young Jesse here. Jesse, sit. This is Jesse. Hey, sit. You flicked mud at me. What are we going to do? We're going to go for a walk? Huh? Go see some fields? She loves nothing more than to be extra dirty, rocks, and she likes chasing drones. So you're going to have some fun today, because we're going to go and have a look at the fields. We're going to go and have a look at some of the crops, see how they're doing. It's a nice day, so we'll put the drone up, and it's going to be no surprise, it is super wet everywhere. So we're going to go and do that. Jesse's going to help me, and we'll call it a day there. Peter's been out ditching, and we're going to have a look at that as well. We've had our baler in. A man comes from Lister Wilders, and he'll look over the baler. We have it done every year. He'll go over everything on that baler, look at all the wearable parts, see what we need, and then order them in, and then he'll come and fix them before hay season. We were driving down the road the other day, and the truck went bang. Something went bang, and she started leaning over on one side, so we had to put some new rear springs on. So we've done that. This morning I managed to get the tipper trailer stuck in the air, couldn't get that down. Farmer had to rescue me on that one. This here is actually the trailer. I want to, we're going to have a go at redoing the bed. All that's happened is, over the years it's just got old and rotten, but it's left all the screws sticking out of the bed, which is no good because it snags the bales. But that's not what we're down here for. That's another project a little bit in the future. If I had a tape measure, I'd be able to measure the wood so we could get some ordered, but I forgot. So you couldn't get 2 years pretty much the same. It is soaking wet everywhere. Had we known it had been this wet, we would not have put our winter crops in. A few of those fields are just patchy, it's where the water lies, the seed dies. So, but this is the fields out the back of the farm, and last year what happened was we got most of the fields ready for drilling. It came wet, and then the ground went rock hard as it dried, which left us to do a load of cultivations. But this year we didn't go down that same route. We were in the mindset of doing more spring crops anyway. This time all we did was, pull everything up, lift it up, cultivate, get everything growing. Hopefully we should be able to just drill straight into this year. We shouldn't have to go across it with tractors or anything like that. We should just be able to bring the drills down, straight in, drill. And I think these fields here, this one here, the one behind me there, and the one in the far corner, I think they're going into a new variety of spring oats, which are supposed to be pretty good, so we'll see how those do. But this is the way we left things this year. You know, you let the weather break it all down for you, and that way you can come in straight away, drill. It worked a couple of years ago. We had this method worked really well for us. Right, let's go and look at some of the ditching Peter's done, because that was pretty cool. Done a fantastic job. We like to go round and clear out all the ditches around the farm. Keep water moving, get them off the field, get the water out of the field into the ditches. It's still difficult with clay soils because the water just sips on top of the clay, so it takes a while to soak through. But we like to have ditches there clear, and that's what Peter's been doing this week, so we're going to have a look and see what sort of job he's been doing. This is the ditch Peter's been working on. This ditch runs all the way up to the top there and then goes left-handed towards the motorway across the way, and apparently this ditch used to run back this way, and it used to take a bit of a long route all the way around the fields and make its way back to the motorway over here, and then run back down the motorway to the outfall, which is in the corner there. So Peter has took the levels from one end to the other, and now we've got this ditch running this way, so it's heading all the way to the outfall, you know, the most natural way. Look at this dog. What are you doing? Hey! 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 Oi! She's dropped her rock in there. Where you at? Come here. Come on. Come on then. What you got? Right. One time. That's all you're getting. Ready? Whoosh! She likes rocks. Over there. It looks a bit of a mess. You can see all the soil on this side, and once the weather dries up, it will dry up at some point. We'll bring the trailers in, take all this soil away, and we will put it in the low spots in fields elsewhere. So it looks a bit of a mess at the minute, but once we're finished, the summer here, everything starts growing, the hedges will start growing, greening up, all this will green up, and yeah, it's a really smart job, and it's a hell of a ditch, so that will hold a lot of water. You got to stay on top of your ditches, otherwise they get clogged up, and then they don't move, and then you wonder why your fields are wet. So you got to stay on top of it. I don't know whether Peter will be doing any more, but done a pretty smart job. Oh my god. So we're now out the front of the farm where we planted barley, if you remember. Winter barley, and you can see it is extremely wet out here. And this is the field that will pretty much, I mean there is seed there, you can see it across the field, but I'm pretty sure we'll end up just starting again with this field. Jessie's found herself a rock, so she's happy, but oh god, now I'm getting stuck. I shouldn't have walked out here. We've got a new muck heap here, so after we've harvested, if the weather's right, we will hopefully spread that across the fields, which will be good for soil health. But yeah, it is just crazy wet, and we've got more rain coming. We got more rain this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, heavy rain forecast. You get one of these nice days, and then back to more miserable weather. It's just a wet year. That's all it is. It's just a wet year. Look at that. That's what you're looking for. Nice root. That's quite a deep root, and she's already started tillering out. She got 5 leaves on her. That's a good plant. In the wet spots there, you can see them. In the wet spots, it's going to be thin. It's going to be thin. You'll be lucky if you get any plants there at all, but not worth touching. We'll just leave that. That'll be fine. You know, this is where farming becomes tricky because the weather's involved.
Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright.
She likes to chase the drone. The only problem is if she gets hold of it. Right, so we had the drone sent away because somebody crashed it into a bale at night time. I can't tell you who that was. That was quite scary actually. Over 500 quid for the repair bill. Ooh. Thank you, Linda. Luckily the farmer helped me out with that one. Right, we're going to go and look at the rape fields because we haven't had a look at those for a while. So we're going to have a look. Not much has happened there, but we'll quickly head over that way to finish off and see if the old scarecrow's still up. Old Freddy, see if he's still standing. What do you reckon, Jazz? No, just chewing the rock. Sorting that rock right out. In you go. What you got? What you got? Is that a good one? Hey? What you got? Is it? The farmer says I'm mad coming to check because he said the dice is cast. He said you won't change what is, so he says just deal with it in the spring. But I wanted to show you what it's like anyway. This is how we should have left everything. This is going to be perfect. You can see everything. The weather's done its job. It's knocked all the knobbles down, and let's just pick up a bit. Come spring, this will just break down and that'll just create a real nice seedbed. As long as we get some nice weather in the spring, this is gonna, we won't have to do anything with this. The farmer may come and spray it once more time for weeds and black grass, but we'll be able to come here with the drills. Look at this, this is Charlotte. Look. I think that's Charlotte, I'm not 100%, but there are still weeds in there, but the farmer will come and spray that off. Some deers over in the background there, look. That's going to leave a really nice seedbed. Plus we had oats here last year, which was a break crop anyway. I think this will probably end up being spring wheat. We were going to go winter wheat. We have got some winter wheat in the shed. We've missed the window now anyway, so spring wheat is what it will probably be, and we should get a nice crop off that. That should yield quite well as long as it goes in the ground and we get the weather to plant. It should bring some nice yields. Look at that. Something's had a good go on that, hasn't it? I did just see 5 or 6 deers in here, and I'm guessing they are, but look at the root system on that. This is why we like rape as a good break crop. Puts nitrogen in the soil and breaks down the soil as well at the same time with a big root system like that, but something is eating it all. We were quite hopeful out here with this crop, but it looks like it's being eaten alive by something, and I don't know what. Most likely deers. Now you will have pigeons, and they'll eat the leaves, and it could be those that are doing it, but it doesn't look very good at all, if I'm honest. I mean, there's 1 or 2 leaves still out here. That plant's all right. But they're being nailed. They are being nailed a treat. Huh. I don't know what quite to say about that. It gets better as we walk down the field. It gets better from this point onwards. There are things here, but every plant has been hammered by something. That is interesting. A farmer did tell me that these months here are the worst that it will look. So he said it will just look terrible, and then all of a sudden it'll start growing away again, and once it gets a bit warmer it'll start growing and getting better. Just had a phone call with the farmer to see what's sort of going on out here. He seems to think it will be pigeons. Now, we would normally put bangers out. Banger is a big canister that fills with gas, and then it ignites every 15 minutes or half an hour or whatever you set it to, and it lets off a massive bang across the field and scares the pigeons away. But this is such a small field. We've got horses next door and we've got a house next door to that, and for one little field, is it worth putting it out for? I don't think so. But he tells me it is normal, and he tells me it does sort of look like this. This is a normal look for it this time of year, and it will come back, so we'll have to see. But look at that, every leaf on that one, it's all been stripped by something. Now we can try, I think we've got some kites in the shed, so we'll put some kites up. And what else have we got? I might even move old Freddy over here, because if that other field's no good, we might as well have him doing something over here to try and keep the birds off it. We are over in the other rake field. This one was a few weeks behind. A week behind, I think we planted this one. I can't remember now. 2 weeks behind, 1 week behind. Plant condition over here. Look at that, full of leaflet. So the plant conditions are better. Now, I am told that the agronomist has been over. I don't know if I've said that right again, sorry Peter. If you rip open the root of the plant, you will find cabbage stem flea beetle larvae. And what will happen is they will hatch, eat their way out, and your crop will just disappear before your eyes, and you'll have a crop failure. And unfortunately, the Chris Brighton, our agronomist, has found some in some of the plants. So we will just have to see how that goes. But plant condition is better than over at the other location, but they're not quite as big. And yeah, the big plants, there's some bigger plants at the back there. That is Charlic. There's a plant called Charlic, and we do not want that going to seed, so we're going to have to deal with that regardless. Just going to have to wait again and see what happens here. If it is like the agronomist said, the plants will just start disappearing. What will happen then is we'll just spray it off, spray everything off, and then hopefully we can just bring the drills down here, because the plants have got a good root on them now. The soil should be nice and broken apart, and we should be able to just drill straight into it with spring seed. That wasn't our original plan. Our original plan was to, you know, get something out of this, but we're not going to spend money on spraying off that Charlic if the crop fails. So it's a little bit of management there that we're just going to have to stay on top of, and it's unfortunately it's just time will tell on this one. But the plant conditions are better. Everything's got a leaf on it, so it is a little bit thin out here. We know that, we said that from the start. We should have gone a little bit thicker out here, but we didn't. That's what we had in the bag. There are a few weeds here and there that the farmer will have to come and look at as well. We'll come back out here in a few weeks' time. Hopefully I'll bring the farmer with me, and we'll see what he thinks of it all and where we go from here. Thanks very much for watching. As always, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to support the channel in any way, you can head down below, get yourself a hat, get yourself a jumper or a t-shirt, and yeah, we'll catch you soon. Thanks very much for watching.